and I want to thank Pastor Karen for alerting me to this event. I work in Pennsylvania, and so I don't get a lot of the news, and so Karen keeps me up on the news that's going around. I have an opportunity to worship at Westminster Presbyterian Church, although I am a dyed-in-the-wool Baptist Coastal. I am a black man living in America, and I'm from LA, Lower Alabama. I was born in 1968, and the issues of segregation, Jim Crow, were still alive when I was born. The last lynching that happened in this country before racial lynching was in my hometown of Mobile, Alabama. I went to the University of Alabama. I didn't apply to any other school. I intentionally went to Alabama because the governor stood in the door and said no Negroes would ever come to this institution. So I didn't want to go to Princeton. I didn't want to go to Harvard. I wanted to go to Alabama. And I went there twice. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about the social identity that you identify with the most. Just take a moment. Every day that I get up, the first thing that comes to my mind is that I'm black. And I've been reminded of that all of my life. No matter how good I am, no matter how many degrees I have, which are 5, even the penultimate of a Ph.D., I'm still a black man in America. I experienced that when I was working at Princeton University as their ombudsman. People ask me, D, why do you wear a suit every day? And I said, it's to make white people feel more comfortable with me.
Oh my God.
Because I'm non-threatening when I'm dressed up. Again, the first thing you see is black man. Because when I'm walking down the street in my sweats and a t-shirt, you get off the sidewalk. And then get back on when I pass you by. Trust me, it's happened to me right here in this city. It's happened to me in other cities. As a matter of fact, I was with some white friends in Richmond, Virginia. We were going to dinner. There was a couple who parked behind my car. We went up to the restaurant. It was too crowded, so we decided to leave. They saw me leading the group. There was a couple. They got off the sidewalk, went around, and got back on the sidewalk. I was the only one who noticed it. While he was in seminary, his ex-wife called and had him arrested because he couldn't pay his child support. And the judge said, you're going to be in jail until you can pay something.
Yeah, does that make sense?
That seminarian didn't have any money. He was, as a matter of fact, going to seminary on borrowed money. Didn't have a job. The bailiff handcuffed him, took him to a room, and shackled him to a table with another inmate. That seminarian got an opportunity to witness to that inmate who was about to go to prison. That seminarian was me. I had never been in trouble in my life. But when that officer put those handcuffs on me, it changed me. And I made it my mission from that point forward to work with people who have worn those bracelets. I became a Navy chaplain, and I worked with Marines and sailors. who are disproportionately black and brown in the brig. When I came out of the Navy, I got a job working at San Diego State University, and a really good friend of mine was working in career services. He's an African-American man, smart, intellectual. I mean, one of the most brilliant people I knew. It's the kind of person that my friend was talking about here. He got his Ph.D. from USC. As a matter of fact, we were going to school at the same time, working on our PhDs. But there was one difference between he and I. He had a federal conviction when he was 17 years old. He finished his PhD and he could not get a job at a university. He graduated at the top of his class. He could not get a job at a university. He had to keep his job as a second-tier career counselor at San Diego State University. When I read this book, and I thank Karen for turning me on to it, the words that this young lady spoke, Michelle Alexander spoke, were ringing so true to me. Because I know these brothers. I know them. I know them by name. They're my cousins. They're my older brother. They are people who are just trying to make it. And I look at my oldest brother right now, he's a year younger than me, year older than me. And I see a person who just wants another chance. But the only jobs he can get are low-level, almost, again, it's the job that nobody else wants to do. So I'm excited about what is happening here. I hope that something can come of it. And whatever I can do to help, I'm more than willing to do that. And so I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak, and that's all I have.